Hi, gang. Hello, my group of lovely ladies. How are you all? And I'm coming at you from at 4:30 on Tuesday, the 15th of December. And I am coming to you with all the big topics today. So this is not going to be a quick and dirty 2 minute video. This is going to be going into quite a lot of detail. But first of all, I've tried to cover my spot and it did not work. So I'm just calling that out right there. Don't know what's going on. I think I'm blaming the weather and probably the 100% increase in celebrations over the last week. But hey ho, let's kick off. So if you are watching me live, please give me a wee hashtag live in the comments below. And if you're getting me on replay, you know what to do. Give me a wee hashtag replay. I did try and get this done on my laptop so I could be hands-free because we all know that I like a gesticulation. And I bought this fancy wee thing. I'm such a consumer. It was on Instagram and it's meant to stick onto your the back of your phone and then hook over things. But I can't figure out how it works. So I'm not using that. I'm just using my hand. All right. So the things I want to cover off today are all intrinsically linked. So we're going to be talking about fear. We're going to be talking about comfort zones. We're going to be talking about disappointments, and repeating the same thing and the same issues over and over again. We're going to talk about mindset, self-value, overthinking, and I've got a little exercise for you to do as well, which wasn't part of the original plan, but I was on a Facebook Live with another coach earlier and they asked us to do this and I thought it was very powerful. So that's what I'm going to ask you today. So thank you, Abby, I can't remember her surname now, for doing the exercise with us because it really actually helped me. So this is all of these topics, as I say, are completely interlinked, and it all boils down to fear of unknown and comfort zones, which are two topics I just love to talk about. And I can see that lovely Mandy's on and she knows that we've had big conversations about this. Hi, Mandy. Hi, Laura. So fear is something that we all have and we all should have. There are some people that don't have any fear, and they tend to get into a lot of trouble, like danger and stuff. But for the most part, general population are scared. Now, as we age, we get more scared because we get used to the status quo, we get used to our comforts, we get used to our routines, and then when things threaten them, we become very defensive and we become quite scared. So fear normally is about, choosing to not believe something to be true or a fear of failure. Now, I'm going to talk about fear of failure the most because it's the one thing that I see the most when I'm working with women is that, but what if it doesn't work for me? And, that's completely understandable. Generally, by the time somebody is looking to invest in themselves longer term and go into a one-to-one coaching mastermind or program, they will have tried many different things before. Now, some people haven't. Some people just want to know they just want to have it done for you, so have somebody explain what to do, how to do it, and when to do it, rather than trying to figure it out for themselves. And that tends to be, that I'm kind of that person now that I'm just like, actually, do you know what? There's people out there better than me at this, so they can help me. But typically people have gone down the road of all the different things to try and change their lives, whether that is, weight loss groups, fat camps, your Weight Watchers and your Slimming Worlds, or maybe played about with some mindset coaching or business coaching or other wee things that don't actually tackle the full package. And it hasn't worked. And typically, I think a lot of you probably know by now, by some of the things that we talk about in this group, is that diets, when we're talking about weight loss, diets per se don't work. Diets are tend to be a short-term fix for a long-term issue. And so we get into this over restriction, all or nothing mindset. And then every time it doesn't we don't get the long-term results, we beat ourselves up, It's fail. I have failed. This didn't work for me. I failed again. Failed, failed, failed. So we've got this background of failing. So we just have this expectation that no matter what it is, it's going to fail. Once we get past that barrier, and I think a lot of people do reach that barrier, reach that point where they go, actually, I can completely understand what you're saying. That completely makes sense. And that's exactly where I have been. We then have, the fear of investing in ourselves. And that could be, financially, it could be time, it could be emotionally investing back in ourselves. It could be all of these different things that we have never, we're not used to. Because if you think about it, and that I'm speaking very generally here, but most of us are probably parents. Most of us have got decent careers. So, taking time away from those things can be really difficult to comprehend. So when we are faced with a fearful situation, there is a little exercise that you can do that can help you overcome it. And that is thinking of an example of where you have been scared to do something, but you have gone ahead and done it and you have succeeded. And that gives you a real life example for your subconscious to go, oh, actually, you're not a failure. You're not going to fail. So it could be, sitting an exam, it could be going for an interview, it could be anything. Whatever you have got in your past, you will have evidence of you succeeding in something. So always think about that. And the other thing is, failure isn't necessarily a thing. Like if you think about if you've had kids or been around kids toddler age and they're learning to walk, like they get up and they fall down hundreds of times. Like after the second or third attempt of them getting up to walk and they fall over, you don't tell them to stop, do you? You don't go, you're not very good at this, maybe just don't do that again. Like that's not how we do it. We just keep trying again until we get success. We try again until we get success. We try again and we get success. Because the fact is, if you don't try again, you'll never get success. And then you're just going to be stuck in this place all your life, which is not going to be pleasant if you want to change. All right. So that's the fear aspect. And failure, I've got a wee quote here. Failure is making a few wrong choices repeatedly. A few wrong choices repeatedly. So it's not like you don't, like let's take weight loss as an example. Okay. You're not going to eat all the shit food today and then suddenly drop dead tomorrow. You're not going to eat all the shit food today and suddenly gain 5 stone tomorrow. But if you repeatedly choose the wrong food, you are going to gain all the weight. It's just a fact of life. And if you don't do the exercise today, you're not going to suddenly seize up tomorrow. But if you don't do any exercise over the next month, you're going to face issues because of that. So you're repeatedly making the wrong decisions. And you make the wrong decisions because it's easier. That's why anybody makes the wrong decisions, because it's easier. So that's fear. Comfort zone. Like we know, psychologists tell us, there are countless books written on it, that if we don't want to escape our comfort zone, growth will never happen. And that is fine if you don't ever want to change. And that's okay. And you could be quite happy and comfortable where you are. That's okay. But if you do want more, and if you do want better, and you do expect better of yourself, and you expect better for those round about you, then getting out your comfort zone is an absolute must. And it takes getting over that fear to do that, and ripping off the plaster. And there's a really good clip on YouTube, I think it is, of Will Smith talking about jumping out of a plane. I've never jumped out of a plane. And it is something, I know that it is something that I'm terribly scared of. And I'm like, oh, I need to do it because I need to practice what I preach. And I will do it, but I'm not going to do it in the middle of COVID for sure. I don't want to be that close to a stranger. Thanks very much. Anyway. So, getting out your comfort zone is an absolute must, and it takes practice. And you don't have to, like some people are like, right, I'm going big and I'm going bold, and they'll come into our program, and that's brilliant because that is the type of person that we want. But some people are like, oh, I need to try to do something small first. And Small is still in your comfort zone because that's the way you're used to making decisions, is doing small things. Now, if you want to be bold and be brave, you rip off the plaster and you do something big. That's getting out your comfort zone, and that's where growth happens. So disappointment. This is an interesting one because if we repeatedly do the wrong things and make the wrong choices, then and we get the results that we don't want, then there will be natural disappointment. But true ownership and true accountability comes from looking inward and going, do I deserve this? Did I do the actions that got me to this point? And the answer is pretty much always yes. So yes, it's natural to feel disappointed, but taking huge ownership over our own actions and our own life can help you avoid that feeling of disappointment because it turns into expectation. Having true clarity over what it is that you're doing and the actions that you're taking pretty much will show you what you're going to get. So if you are repeatedly making good choices, you're having an apple a day, you're walking around the block at lunchtime, you're not suddenly going to wake up a marathon runner tomorrow, but you're repeatedly making the right choices that are going to get you the right results. So if you did all of the good things and then, you don't see the results, then there's something else going on. And that's, the expectation part, being very honest with yourself. I've done this repeating the same actions. So we know the definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over again and getting the same result. That's good if it's going well. That is a good course of action to take. But if you're finding that you're doing the same things, the same attempts at self-sabotage, you maybe get a week down the line of being good, and I hate that phrase, good, and then you're throwing yourself headfirst into a Domino's and 5 bottles of wine. There's something else going on there. We need to either change the situation, change the environment, so that you take different actions next time. Because if it keeps happening week in, week out, and every week you keep going, no, I can't do this again, this is ridiculous, but you do, then we need to change something else because the willpower and the discipline isn't working. So changing the environment is really important. And for the most part, switching up your environment can be often all it needs, genuinely. Living, breathing example. Last week, this is my office, and there's a corner down there. I don't know if you can see it. That's a bin, right? But that and a bookcase, a cat on the shoe rack. But anyway, last week that corner was overflowing with stuff for the charity shop or to put on eBay or to put in local pages. I was just like, nah, get this out. This is ruining my juju. And I was just like coming into my office, like, it's a mess. So I got it out, and immediately having that change in my environment, moved my books about, just uplifted me and my spirits, and that in turn then boosted my performance in the week. So look to your environment for easy wins. Mindset. Now, I can't remember the name of the book. Okay. With a mindset, we have people who are thinking with fear, are thinking with a fixed mindset. People who are thinking with growth and abundance, that's an abundant mindset. So always thinking about more things, more achievements, more accomplishments. And, a very fixed mindset is always thinking about what goes wrong. This is going to go wrong. Fear. It's not going to work for me. So mindset is hugely, hugely important, but it's one of those phrases that are really, really woolly, really, really. So, there's a good exercise. I've actually, if you want, I've got a mindset training that forms part of my client group. If you want that, please give me a wee #mindset below and I'll send it over to you. And it's a really good look at the comparison between the two. But a fixed mindset is very much thinking that you're stuck where you are. There's no way you're moving forward. You failed at everything else, so why even bother? Fixed mindset is very much like, I can do it myself, even though you've been trying for the last 10 years. I'm not willing to accept help from someone else. Growth mindset is looking to experts to help them grow, Growth mindset is willing to invest in the best to make changes. Growth mindset is willing to try different things to get to where they want to be. There's millions of gazillions of books. There's actually, for those of you with kids, I bought this for my little boy, and it's wonderful. It's really good, and it's called How to Be Awesome, and it's written by, I think it's Matthew somebody, but he was a British Olympic table tennis person. Anyway, very random, but his book is absolutely stunning for grown-ups and for kids, and we've worked on that quite a lot with him, because I found that kids actually can get themselves in a bit of a fixed mindset, so we've worked on that a little bit. Self-value and what you believe to be true about you. Now, this is huge, and a lot of people I speak to do not see their self-worth. They have, gone through in this fixed mindset. They're very fearful of change, very fearful of, working with someone to help them get better, very fearful of the future, and what if it doesn't work, and this is identity. What you believe to be true about you and what you believe is possible for you is absolutely key. If you, one of the good things that you can ask yourself is, what would my best friend or husband or somebody that you love and trust, what would they say to you? If given opportunities and you're like, oh, I'm not worth it. Put yourself in somebody else's shoes and, ask them, ask yourself, am I being the person that I would want my daughter to be? It can be a very raw and very hard self-conversation to have, but, if you don't believe you're worth change, if you do not believe that you're worth being better, what is that telling the people that love you? Have a think about that. Overthinking. Oh my goodness me. Overthinking is the one reason why everybody is where they are right now, because they think too much and they think, oh, what if it, no, think. And you can think yourself to complete and utter boredom and inaction. And that is not getting you anywhere in life at all, is it? So wallowing in self-pity, overthinking everything, trying to, as an ex-project manager, like this is an actual, I always try and think, well, what if that happens? What is the risk? What is the issue? What is the dependency and all of these things? So I can be a bit of an overthinker, but I'm certainly a lot better than where I used to be. But ultimately, overthinking keeps you where you are for longer. It goes back to that fear. It goes back to the comfort zone, ripping off the plaster, doing things. And what if I fail? What if I fly? And that's, if you always go with the, I need to think about it a little bit more, you're just denying yourself the opportunity for more success. And that can be quite a big conversation to have with yourself. So I've rattled through all of that in 20 minutes, and I leave this with a question, okay? Thinking about, if you're coming from a place of, fear or mindset or comfort zones, asking yourself the question about, what if there was absolutely a solid guarantee that nothing would go wrong and everything went the way that you want it? What would your life look and feel like then? And, in 99.9% of cases, there will be a difference in what that future looks like versus where you are now. So, yeah, that's a really good exercise to do. And just write some notes down, or have a really good close your eyes, 5 minutes somewhere private, the toilet, and think about, what would that look and feel like for you if nothing went wrong and it was all guaranteed to go right. So, my darlings, I hope that has helped someone today. As I say, if you want that mindset training, give me a hashtag mindset below and we'll get that over to you. And yeah, overcoming all of these obstacles is not easy. It is really, really, it's one of the hardest things that you can ever do. However, once you do it, you're free. You're free from barriers that have held you back. You're free from emotional chains that have held you back. And having that emotional, mental, even physical freedom is such a game changer, such a game changer. So I really urge you to have a think about, the things that I've talked about, and, think about where you are and the actions that you take and all of these kind of things, because every single person goes, oh no, I've got a really good mindset and I don't make decisions based on fear. But really be honest with yourself. Be open, be raw, be honest. And if you need any help or if you've got any questions, just drop me a message. We are here for you. All right, my love. Oh, sorry, I'm repeating Mandy's comment. Can't be Mandy. It bloody well can. All right, my darlings, have a lovely evening, and I will speak to you all soon. And take care. Have an awesome rest of your night. Night night.